What's good with y'all? What's good? What's good? With y'all, what's good? What's good? We tuning in for another video, man. Today we got more tuning going on, man. We don't hit some. I gotta show y'all the parts. We got what we adding on to Mcch. Got change spark plugs, a lot of stuff. Gotta get y'all up to date. Y'all see Mcch gone, where it was gone, which I didn't record yesterday, man. It rained all yesterday. But we went to Lawless for like a quick turnaround. The car, now the car running crazy again, but it's expected, you know, for what I had done. So now I can finish, or halfway finish doing what I gotta do. So we're getting the shop open, cause there it is, Mcch right there. Boy, it was a sketchy ride home, boy, I'm telling you. Sketchy ride home, man. The yard was soaking wet, so I was like, getting the trailer was out. Going to get the trailer is out. Cause the truck messed around, got stuck in the yard, the trailer, everything. So I was like, well, I gotta drive it. Got to the shop, we went ahead and I put some 93 in one of the old Renegade cans to keep from stopping at the gas station. And then we took the interstate route home so I can keep speed. And put rain X on and all that. Man, it still was a sketchy ride home, boy. I said, phew. With the car, the tune ain't all the way right, so you know you gotta take it easy and slower than normal and all that. And man, let me tell y'all. So we was up and at it early in the morning, cause we knew the rain was coming. So we was up and at it early in the morning to get the car to Lawless. Man, it's in the car, so once I get the car pulled in, I'm gonna show y'all. I'm talking about, I'm not even that far from the house. How about I'm driving and I hear something saying, pow! Man, I seen steam and smoke, everything come from under the hood of the car. And I was like, oh my goodness. I said, I know it popped the engine. First thing, I'm like, nah, it popped the engine. Then I come to, looked on the windshield, water, everything, everywhere on the windshield. I said, I done popped the radiator hole. So I just had discovered right before we left, I kept seeing little small puddles, like puddles of water on the car. But you know, the shop, when it rains, water leak in. So I'm like, man, that water. So then I caught a couple days where it wasn't raining and it was just like right where Mcch underneath me. I said, look, this car got a slow water leak. So right before we left, I put my hand right there with a lower radiator hose, which if you've been watching and keeping up the vlogs, you know, I just had to change that. And it's still water was seeping out. So I hit the clamp some more, tightened up the clamp some more. And after I did that, all of a sudden the upper radiator hole, I'm talking about grenaded. Man, I put the picture on Facebook. People like, I ain't never seen one do that. It shot the spring out the hose and everything, man, like crazy pressure. So I had that. So I had to get the car towed over to Lawless. Luckily, parts store, my boy Scott come through. I had the right length radiator hose, so it wasn't nothing to it. You know, it ain't nothing. Got the radiator hose, and that was that. So went because like I was telling y'all, I believe this car, and I know I was right on. The car needs some more timing. So it did help part throttle. But I believe we still gonna have to pull the intermediate bleed all the way out. Now this a problem that 3-circuit dominators have. Any 3-circuit, they just have a super rich part throttle. I mean, run like a scalded dog wide open, but part throttle, they finicky. And a lot of people don't want to take the time to tune the intermediate circuit. But they'll be great carburetors for street carburetors if you take the time and tune them. But they finicky. They just, any 3-circuit, I don't care if it's a Harley, whatever brand, Quick Fuel, King, Demon, Dominator. If they part throttle, they just run rich. So we're gonna be working on the intermediate circuit today. I can't really do road testing because the road's so wet and it's gonna rain again today. It was too wet for us to pull Mcch in because the boards were soaking wet. I had Graham put them back in the shop, but now the idle, it leaned out the idle even more because of the extra timing, burning up the fuel. So now I got to make an adjustment on the screws, the idle mixer screws, which ain't nothing. Like I said, so I had to 2-foot it to keep it crunked. But all of that was expected because it got more timing in it now. It got literally 4 more degrees of timing. Yeah, that's a lot. So for one, 2 things. That means the car for sure picked up a lot of power. You give an engine timing, if it like it, it's gonna pick up power. I mean a lot. It's gonna pick up a lot of power. Yeah, this, like most hot rodders know this. 1 or 2 degrees can yield a big gain in power and torque. So, it just depends on your combination. So we got 4 more degrees. I told them, man, I said, I think it need about 4 more degrees. And like I said, they can just change it easier because to take my alternator off, you have to go under the car to get some of the bolts out. And I'm like, man, I'm not, just take it over there, it's faster. And that's what I did. But I'm gonna show y'all what I bought so I won't have to be removing that alternator anymore. And it's gonna have to go back to Lawless future date to get it installed. But for now, let's get this car in so I don't get caught in no rain, and then I'm gonna finish explaining to y'all, showing y'all the parts, and then we're gonna get some. We got it in the shop, got everything else pulled up like it should, so we're good. So the rain come in, I'm gonna pull it up a little more. So while I'm pulling it up, I'm gonna let y'all see how much harder it is to start and keep running now versus how it was before I touched it. So to show y'all every step of the tuning process, man, how things affect, how when you make a swing in one area, it affect the next. So make it hard to start, got more timing in it now. All right, I ain't got my foot on the gas. It ain't gonna stay running, see? So you have to drive with 2 feet. See, that took a hard, boy. Oh boy. So look, I gotta get in the house and edit a few things for the morning. And before I start deep diving, but what I'll probably do right quick, since it ain't gonna take but a second, I'm gonna take the hood off, fix this idle. All it need is a mixture adjustment for that. That don't take long. So I won't have to keep 2-foot driving this joker. But I need to set y'all down in the back so y'all can see how it don't be shooting all the fuel out anymore. Well, wifey just came to the rescue. Let me let her hold the camera right quick, y'all. You just catch the back like you would. Let me see.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't shooting the fuel out anymore. You ready?
Yeah. Yeah, it's still on.
All right. Did it shoot the fuel out? when I crunk it up?
No, I don't know.
I think so. Just when I read it, then
Yeah.
that's what I told y'all. It was just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Wasn't like last time heavy. Y'all see what I'm saying? So that's what I said. Now remember on the initial startup, last time me and wife was out here messing with it in the last video. Remember we cleared it first. The first time y'all saw it start, it was shooting unburnt fuel even while it was idling, while it was running. On the acceleration and while it was idling. Then I tuned on it, made the idle feed restriction adjustment. And remember, it was shooting unburnt fuel out just on initial startup, then it cleared up once it was idling. The idle cleared, then part throttle, still it returned. Now, the initial startup is clear. The idle is clear. It's just part throttle, which is the intermediate circuit, which is what we're gonna be tuning on today. But right now, I'm gonna get wifey to help me pop the hood off. I'm gonna change the idle mixture since it's been leaned out now. And then I'm gonna put the hood back on. Cause like I said, I gotta go in and edit, but I'm gonna just keep it I'm tired of having the 2-foot drive, which, you know, idle mixture change for me takes seconds. So we're gonna do that. I'm gonna show y'all the difference, and then we're gonna resume this later on, cause I got work to do on the inside. So y'all stay tuned. All right, BCG film. Just finished making the mixture adjustment. Like I said, it might not be where I leave it, set in stone, but this right here gonna crank it and make it run. Trust me. I just made a small adjustment. I should be able to crank the car and hop out of it. Like y'all saw, I just having a 2-foot drive. That small swing actually put the idle AFR right back where I had it and where I wanted to run. So I shouldn't have touched the idle no more. The other thing now, when you put it in gear, it goes leaner, of course. The RPM drops, which like I said, that's gonna get more to my intermediate tuning. And I might richen it just a hair on the mixture. But we're gonna get into that this evening. But while I'm at it, look, wife, I turn around and show them what we did yesterday. Right there. What I got out. Look at this, y'all. Tell me how y'all saw something like this. This came completely out, shot it across the other side. But this is the top radiator hole. It literally exploded. Now, mind you, this spring runs throughout this whole hose like this. This thing created so much pressure, it shot all of this out of that hole, man. It was on the other side. It was on the passenger side of the car by the fans. I'm talking about, it was loud, man. It sounded like a gunshot on the hood. But what caused it, Jay? I guess this hose just had enough, man. It was pretty old hose, so I guess it just had enough. Mind you, this the hose that was on every engine that been in Mcch. The AutoZone crate engine. It was on that one. It was on the 468. Then it was on the last setup, and it's on this setup. So it just, I guess it's kind of, see, you know, these hoses be stiff, man, and it just had enough. It's like everything else. You got to change the hoses over time, man. They don't last forever. You got coolant and hot water running through here, so you got to change them over time. But That's what happened yesterday. Y'all stay tuned. We're gonna check back in later this evening. Okay, BCG fam, we back out here in the shop. And I got finished with my editing I had to do. We gotta work out today. We gotta do that as well. But I'm just gonna be in and out trying to do what I can do. I talked to my buddy Doug over at ATM Carburetors, and me and him were going over some things. He was making some suggestions too on what clear coat pillow on Dolo, on what he would, which way he would swing, which we're on the same page. Cause I said I had just told wife, I was like, man, I'm gonna take the intermediate air bleed completely out and see how big of a change it makes, which is what I'm finna do now on part throttle. And then I said, but I was talking to him about possibly lowering the the intermediate feed jets. So, but the other thing I thought about is take a little jet out the primary side. I mean, and like I said, it's a give and a take with everything, man, especially with a certain level of performance. You know, this is where some people say, it's getting fuel injection, which, you know, you can punch keys in the computer. In essence, I'm doing the same thing. I'm computer savvy too. I'm very tech savvy. So, you know, the computer reading a fuel map and nothing is nothing to me. It's just navigating the software. That's with anything. Once you learn to navigate the software, at least for a tech savvy person, it's nothing to it. And if you know you're still changing the same parameters, you just punching it in on the computer. Then you still got your hardware. Sometimes you see your duty cycle on your injectors and things of that nature, your throttle bodies. I mean, but all of that stuff will show you if it's too small. Carburetor, everything is by hand. But in essence, you're doing the same stuff, and a lot of people just don't like to tinker with actual hardware. Everything carburetor is hardware related. But this is probably the most deepest tuning I had to do on a carburetor. Like I said, it's 3-circuit, and I got a nice unit, man. Shout out to ATM Carburetors. I have a super nice unit. Literally everything is adjustable. I noticed when I looked at the metering block, I said everything on this is adjustable. So, like, I can virtually make it what you want it to be. So that's a good thing. So I'm gonna pop the hood off. I'm gonna take the intermediate air bleed out. I'm gonna see how it does on the part throttle. My gimbal has went dead, so I'm gonna have to find a way to prop the phone up some kind of way. Cause wife ain't out here right now. But first, let me show y'all what I got. So, went to Summit Racing a couple days ago, and I got some parts. These we gonna change today too, cause I know the plugs. I need to pull a plug. I'm putting some new plugs in it, even though you're gonna run through plugs when you're tuning anyway. Cause these plugs not old at all. They don't have any miles on them like that either. But it's just part of the process, man. They get dirtied up when your tune ain't right and stuff. So there's cold plug too. But this is what I got. So we got an MSD grid box, which I'll tell y'all why I decided to get a grid. MSD grid. Now, beforehand, I was not going to buy a grid. Like I said, I'm a fan of only using what you need. And I'm not a fan of having a bunch of electronics on my car. I'm not. There's more stuff can go wrong. If something goes wrong, there's more things you have to sort through to find what's the problem. So I went from 2 boxes, which I previously had 2 boxes off the car and went to 1. So consolidated and made less. I had a start step box on the car too, and my primary ignition box. Now I got my primary ignition box that does everything. So I'm literally going back to 2 boxes. That's all I got. A lot of people have multiple ignition pieces. I only have 2 boxes, so it's still not a lot. Still not a lot. Got my ignition box and my grid. That's it. I don't need nothing else. I got the grid because of, like I said, with changing the timing on this car, you'll have to remove the alternator so you can see the tab accurately. you can get a good view on the tab. When you got to remove my alternator because of my bracket system, you have to go under the car to hit some of the bolts and stuff. It's just a pain. Not that it takes a long time, but it takes longer than normal. So I'm not trying to do that. So my current box doesn't have real-time timing monitoring. So the grid does. So I got the grid so I can monitor my timing in real time. Both the grid and my current ignition box, you can set timing curves. But the grid is a little more, it basically like it's an add-on. It makes it better. But I primarily got it just for monitoring my timing in real time. And you got multiple steps of retard too, which is good. So that's a good thing to have. And the data log, it data logs too. So that's why I got it. Now the second thing I got is vacuum gauge, which I want to put. I've been intending on doing anyway, well before all of this. Vacuum gauge, which I want a vacuum gauge on every one of the cars. This one gonna get one. All the cars have wide bands at this point except R&B and Airtran. So we're gonna be adding wide bands to Airtran and R&B. Airtran will be getting the wide band once it goes down to lawless for the nitrous. So once we get the nitrous finish getting the nitrous installed, we're gonna get the wide band hooked up too, and probably go ahead and have the vacuum gauge. Cause this is a tuning point. This is a tool for tuning. Now a lot of people probably, I don't want to get into deep detail on vacuum and talking about pressure drop and things of that nature, cause it's gonna confuse people. I would rather have a dedicated vlog for that type of stuff, but just trust me, that's a vital tuning tool. I have a vacuum gauge, a high dollar vacuum gauge, but it's for under the hood. It's when I'm doing my carburetor work and I'm like really trying to get down to the nitty gritty. Then I break that out. But for all the time monitoring, that's what that's for. Road driving, like I can see this thing all the time. And of course I'm a fan. I'm not a fan of digital. I'm like mechanical when you're talking about something like vacuum. So get that gauge installed, which I probably tap into the vacuum fitting that's already in the plenum, because that's the perfect spot. And we're gonna have the vacuum gauge. So between the wide band and the vacuum gauge, I can tune this car. I don't really have to go outside nowhere else and get this car tuned. I can tune this car myself. I know how to read spark plugs too. I know how to read the straps and the electrode, but it's just time consuming. To do it the right way, I would be having to go to the test spot, fresh plug in, make a pull, cut it off, pull it to get an accurate reading. It's just time consuming. And I like having real-time data acquisition. So, between them two and reading the spark plugs, I better tune this car, get extra power out of it, and all of that, which is like what we've been doing right now. All right, so that's what I got. It'll be going back to lawless later. I got to get with Jesse. I will be doing that first. I'm trying to do one car at a time and get all this stuff on Mcch. And then we're going to get Airtran down now. We also going to be changing the shocks on this car. I'm going to be putting some Mcch shocks on here, which was in my plans even before this new engine anyway. So we're going to be putting Mcch shocks on, and then everything will be everything. So I'm finna get this hood off. We're gonna change the take the intermediate air bleeds out, and we're gonna see what kind of change that makes, how that registers, and then from there I can decide on like how much jet I want to pull out the front. Right now, like I said, the carburetor really set up right just for wide open, which I ain't even did a high speed pull. Y'all know I ain't even did no heavy street drive, cause I'm trying to lean it out a little bit at part throttle. At least, I want to lean it out at least 1.5 to 2 points. So I'm gonna see if this pulling the air bleed gonna give me that, And y'all stay tuned, cause like I said, my gimbal is dead right now. But once I get my air bleeds out, I'm gonna turn y'all on, and we're gonna see the difference it makes. Alright, y'all, we back on. We're gonna pull the intermediate air bleeds out. Snatch these out, see what it does. And like the next thing is like I said, it was a thought of mine too, but after talking with Doug, like he was on the same page too. I was considering going down on the main jet. Maybe one or two sides. No more than that. When you're making a jet change, you need to don't go crazy. Do not go crazy. One step or two step jet change will yield a big. You go down one or two numbers, it'll yield a big change, what I'm saying. So don't just go too crazy. Alright. Which, like I said, have to, we'll just be snatching the bowl off again. The front, we won't be dealing with the back. This go around, and then we'll see what happens. So let me come get y'all. Show y'all what the intermediate air bleeds are. So we got the intermediate air bleeds completely removed. They're completely out. So there's a big change, which it had big air bleeds in it already. So there's a lot of air, you know, to lean out the part throttle. Now, with 3 circuits, like I said, you're gonna have 3 air bleeds, and then, you know, I got an X circuit right here too. It's different, it's a bad unit. But a two circuit, you wouldn't have that one right there. You just 1, 2, and this will be your idle. So this is an idle. This is your idle air bleed, or AKA your low speed. That's your high speed air bleed. They'll always be right next to your vent tube on all carburetors. And this your intermediate. Now, if this was a 2 circuit, you'll just have your high and low. That's why they use different metering blocks too. So you can't put a 2 circuit metering block straight on a 3 circuit and vice versa. It's just not gonna work. So let's fire this baby up and see how it runs. I wish wife was out here so she can record the exhaust. So I might have to find somewhere to prop y'all up, where I can see how it rev too for myself too. It starts a lot better. It started a lot better. Wide band heat up. Then we gotta try to race fuel only too. I'm gonna show y'all the difference it makes. It run a little lean. It's cold now. All right, so now I see that. God, after this morning, it had warmed up a little bit, so I'm gonna make an idle mixture. One more change, and then we're gonna fire it back up. Okay, we just made that mixture adjustment. A lot better with that mix adjustment. So you got the foot on the gas. off. We still got a little unburnt fuel under part throttle. But I noticed that the carburetor don't take long to warm up. It started getting richer. So now we make another adjustment. I'm making another mixture adjustment. Well, I'm gonna set it where I'm gonna leave it. So get that done and then turn y'all back on. We're gonna crank it back. Okay, we made that mixture adjustment. Since the carburetor getting warmer now, some heat in it. Let's see. Let's see where we're running at. Some water flowing through it now. Takes a long time for it to heat up. Pressure. It's a high pressure pump. It's still about the same. I probably could lean it out a little more. Probably lean it out a little more. See that little transition? Hesitation because it goes so rich. So the next thing to do is I'm gonna take a little jet out of it. But it's getting hot out here. You see that sun? I'm probably gonna do that this evening. Like I said, I want to see what this do. I'm gonna take some jet out of it. So we're gonna put the bleeds back in, and then say we're gonna come back. Well, y'all ain't having to wait. I'm waiting, taking a break, but. When we come back, I'm gonna take some jet out of it. I gotta make sure I got the jets first. I think I got those sizes. I got big size in my kit. So I'm gonna check that out and we're gonna see what difference. Y'all stay tuned. Check in before I close the doors and take a break for a second. So we're finna get ready to work out. So, and I need to let the engine cool down anyway, cause we're gonna change the spark plugs. But a few more tests we're gonna do. I'm gonna try to get the A-Rod performance either today or it'll be tomorrow. I need to get a pail of racing fuel just to show y'all the difference. Cause the fuel does affect the air fuel as well. The octane fuel affects. I'm tuning for this pump fuel. I'm tuning for 93 because I expect my engine to run on 93. So I'm tuning for 93 so to run smoothly as possible because that's the fuel the car be on most of the time. So we're gonna let it cool off. I'm gonna change the plugs after. But I wanna point this out on the tuning side, y'all. Cause people touch their carburetors and the first thing they touch is the jet. The jet should be the last thing you touch. It's so many other tuning points on the carburetor. Even basic carburetors that don't have adjustable air bleeds. It's other points of tuning before you go straight to a jet. Understand a jet gonna move your whole fuel curve. Either on the top or the bottom. It's gonna move your fuel curve. So I'm at that point. I'm at that point now where like gotta do a jet change. So I already got my stuff set out right here. I know what jets I'm gonna put in it in the front. It's very uncommon that you run a stagger jet, which mine's staggered anyway, on a Dominator. Called a Dominator, that's why I said the belly of the beast, they're made to run wide open. It's really, in essence, a race carburetor. It's made to run wide open. But if you want them to work as best as you can as they can on the street, you're gonna have to go through the process. I mean, sometimes you run power valves in them. The newer Hollies, they have power valves in them on the primary side, or if you get into the bigger sides, they're on both sides. It's different. It's different ways to the destination. I just say this: different ways to the destination. I would not be putting a power valve here, obviously. And you gotta, I understand. I mean, especially when you get into this level of performance, it's gonna be a give and a take. You can't have your cake and eat it, man. You just can't. So I already know what jet I'm gonna put in it in the front, and we're gonna change the jet out, which is gonna be fairly quick. That's gonna take a few seconds. We're gonna change the jets out, put the bowl back on, fire it up, and we're gonna see where it's at. If that, cause I popped the air bleeds back in, I popped the intermediate air bleeds back in. If that cleans it up, if that jet change that I make cleans it up, the part throttle, then I'm gonna start working on the high speed. Cause what you want this thing to do is gradually tip over in there, not go beyond. Like I said, I don't want to go beyond 13s. Hold on, I hit a button, y'all. Oh, I don't want to be going beyond like 13 2s and 3s and stuff like that. Like I mean 12's okay, high 12s, they okay too, but just my preference. That's just my preference. But what you want to do, part throttle, and I'm not even touching 4,000 RPM, and it's already beyond where I want it to be. So you know you got a problem. You want it to slowly tip up there, like just slowly go up there. And I'm hitting up there fast, so you gotta take some out of it. You gotta take some of that, take some out that main wheel. But yeah, man, let me close the door, man, and we're gonna get back out here. The engine be done cooled off and stuff too. Then we're gonna pop the front bowl off first, make the jet change, crank it up, see how it run. And I'm gonna pull the plug too first and see how the plug look, which I'm expecting them to be black, of course. And you know, we're gonna go from there. So I'm gonna close the shop, we're gonna check back in a minute. All right, BCG fam, we back. Me and wife are wrapped up working out. I'm back out here in the shop. I called my pops. He ended up grabbing the racing gear for me. So, cause I was like, my time, man, I'm gonna be pushing it on time. So he got that. So now we're gonna be good on that. I'm gonna be able to go grab that this evening. Which, like I said, I'm trying to get it much done today with the tuning because I see the weather done changed. And we're supposed to have a sunny day today. You can see the day end up being pretty today, but I'm not sure the road dry anyway. So I want to get this jet change done. So we're gonna pull these front jets, and then I'm gonna pull a spark plug. And after that, I'm gonna put it back in, and then we're gonna see how it runs. And once basically what I'm looking for, cause I know it needs spark plugs in it now. And what I'm looking for, I just want to see them, get a visual on them, which I'm looking for them to be black. And then we're going to, like I said, put it back in, see how it runs. And I want to see a move in the part throttle. I want to see it move at least 2 to 3 points in part throttle. See. It really can move 4 numbers I won't even be mad. But I'm gonna go down 3 jet sizes. I think that's gonna move it where I want it to. 3 jet sizes is a nice jump. But which I mean it'll have 6-point spread. And then after part throttle, I get part throttle right, then, you know, we'll start working on the high speed. Cause when you staggering like that, you're gonna have to play with the high speed a little bit, which with staggering it, I would immediately go to the air bleed for high speed tuning. Simple. At least that's where I got it mapped out of my mind. But that's enough talk. Let me go ahead and put the gloves on, get this front bowl off again, get the line off, get it drained, jet change, and then we're gonna check back in. Time to go to work, BCG fam. We're finna make it do what it do. We'll try ahead. I think I got everything I need. Zip the line off right quick. Zip the carburetor line off one more time. Okay. Here. And got my stuff over here on the spark plug change. When I get it, with my spark plug, the spark plug, we probably gonna change. Well, ain't no problem. I know what I'm gonna do. I got a plan. We're gonna change once we get back. I like to take my time. Again, we're gonna be done prompt the car up. So, you know, I need to let it cool off again anyway. So after we change the, still a little warm now. Well, not real warm, you know, it get warm in the shop, so. Good. All right. But we're gonna be done. It'll be done cooled off by the time we get back from Pop's house. And then hopefully, like I said, after this, see, we might have to do this a couple of times. That's why I'm giving myself on. You know, I might make the right call the first time, but sometimes it don't work like that. That's the whole point of tuning. Like this stuff I'm doing, I would be doing if I ran a dyno session too, but if I was going to tune my car at a dyno to see the difference in power yield, I would be taking a lot more things. I'd have a jet kit, air bleed kit. I'd have to take all of that. And you're talking about a much longer session. Probably talking about a 4-hour session or something like that. Cause this stuff get time consumed between, you know, doing this, pulling it on and off, and then having to let the engine cool. It takes time. Time go by before you know it. Right, we got that off. Now, we need to pull the jets, and we're gonna check back in a minute. Okay, we got the jets changed out. Man, those are some monsters. Those are some monsters in there. All I say. It's definitely gonna give a change for sure. No questions asked. For sure. Trust me. I should have got a nut driver out of there. A lot easier starting them out. A nut driver come in handy when you're trying to start your bolts, fuel bowl bolts. But you know, use what you got. Y'all know how it goes. And man, and y'all, I still don't know what what the song say. I ain't never found it. I haven't ran into a guy I used to work with. If you know the story about behind this song, I ain't ran into him or nothing. So I ain't never. Hey man, I might see that man, you might go, I don't even remember singing that. Well, I'll tell you, boy, he was jamming. Good old Walmart distribution center days. I worked there for 15 years. 13, I mean. 13 or 15 or 12, I can't remember. Let me think. Oh, I can tell you. Let me think. I started 2006. Nah, I ain't working there that long. I'm tripping. I'm thinking about something else. I ain't worked at no job that long. I'm getting old, man. But when did I quit? 6 years, I think. Yeah, it was 6 years. I worked there for 6 years. Walmart distribution center, y'all. Used to be picking them packages. Picking them in them aisles and stuff. Then I worked on the receiving side. Had some fun times there though. Look at that. Look how smooth that line went that time. I remember last vlog, boy, that thing, trying to get that thing lined up. That is gone. But y'all know what that means. Since that line went on that smooth, that means watch them have to pull the fuel hole back off. Cause the AFR ain't gonna be what I want it to be. But it part of tuning. It should be expected, even if you've been doing it a long time. You're just not gonna get it right on the first go. You get lucky sometime. So we're going to keep the towel right there for now. Alright. Now we're gonna pull a plug over here. We're gonna pull one plug so I can show y'all how it looks. Well, you know I'm over here. I'll pull it from here since I'm over here. Why these plugs gonna be so black? And I ain't even got no real roll time on it. It don't, I'm gonna be shocked. But I know. Woo! Black is all out though. Good night. I told you though. That baby gonna be black. Show y'all what we're looking like. So look. You see that plug? Black is all out though. Let's see, y'all can see it. Look at that. We're gonna pop it back in though. Then we're gonna fire this thing up, see where we at. Alright, I got that plug back in. And what I tell you, the new plug's gonna make it run a lot better too. Them plugs shot. I guarantee you all of them look like that. But first we're gonna check for fuel leaks. It's really heat out here. Check for fuel leak first, let the fuel get back up here to the front. Up here, a little clear, got no leaks. All right, let's fire it up. right. Let's see what the back looking like when I rev it, cause I can't see y'all, so y'all gonna see before I do. All right, so I just looked at the video, and it got some hesitation before revving. It's not a clean, crisp rev. So what that is an indication that I need to go and put the plugs in now. I kind of figured that. It just, the plugs they so shot now. It like they gotta be changed. This part of tuning, this part of the tuning process. Like I'm probably, honestly, y'all, I'm probably gonna have to end up buying another set of plugs. So I'm probably gonna, before the tuning all said and done like I wanted. So I'm probably gonna end up ordering another set of plugs this evening. So they'll get here. This just happened when you first tune them. But it moved it a little bit. I'm curious how it would be now if we took the intermediate air bleeds out along with that jet change. And see, it did move it, not as much as I like, but I ain't taking no more jet out the front. But then the plugs are part of the problem too. So what we're going to do now, let it cool. I'm gonna run up my pop's house, grab the racing gas. So we'll have that for tomorrow, cause we're gonna go to another day of tuning tomorrow. Long story short, I'm trying to have this car completed. Finished tuning, I'm trying to be finished tuning this car this week. So next week, if we get a break in weather and stuff, and I get free, then we can be taking it to the track test. And I want to test in Mexico this week too, road test. So, well, let me get this straight. Probably gonna be 2 weeks before we go to the track, because I want to be road testing next week, doing the high speed stuff. I'm trying to test in increments, cause y'all know we had just got back from vacation, so we were gone 4 days, so I didn't get a chance to do nothing. So now this week I want to finish up intermediate circuit tuning. I want to have it crisp rails, AFR looking good at part throttle. Good road driving. Like I want to be road testing this week on the rims, like just in traffic, just driving the car around, seeing the manners and stuff, all of that. Next week we'll be taking the 24s off, putting on the radios, going to Mexico, and wife will be recording all the visuals and stuff too, so we can see what's going on. That's another reason I like that. I like to have the grid hooked up, cause I could just data log and it'll log all that stuff. It'll log your wideband, your AFR. I'll be able to see everything at what certain RPM and all of that. Very valuable information. But either way, we're gonna do that. So that's my schedule. Next week we want to be radio testing. Me and wife are doing some high speed testing, then I can finish up that high speed on the full throttle, get it as best as it can be on motor. Then we'll take it to the track and do some motor runs. Then you start getting into the nitrous test, which is, you gotta have that junk right. You gotta be right. But you gotta get it running crispy on the motor first. It gotta be running tip-top shape on the motor first of all. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm finna let it cool off. We're gonna come back, change the plugs, see how the plugs affected. And cause that's gonna change how it runs too. It's gonna change big time how it runs. So we wanna see how the plugs are affected and it's running. And then the last thing I'm gonna try today is pulling the intermediate bleed out with the jet change and see where that puts it. And after that, we're gonna, like I said, we're gonna go from there. We're gonna continue on tomorrow with the different fuel in it. trying to run some of the fuel out too. So we'll continue on with the different fuel in it and see how it do. And we're gonna check back in. All right, BCG fam, we checking in. So I told y'all we're taking a break. We're over here with my pop. I told him he gonna get a ticket because when we pull up, he was speeding that lawnmower so fast. I told him he gonna get a ticket. But he grabbed the gas for me. That 114 from A-Rod Performance.
I got some juice in there. Y'all want something to drink?
So we're gonna get that to him. Hey y'all, look. You ain't telling your car heard mine coming back, so it got scared.
No, I've been waiting on you. That's what it is.
Hey y'all, I told Kendra, I said I'm making joke. I said I'm gonna tell Dad when I get here. The car heard mine come back, so he done got scared. Nah, but he getting some repairs done, but so coming soon. But you gonna get ate up. You gonna get ate up by the match. But yeah, we come to grab this because like I said, I wasn't gonna be able to make it in time to get down here. And then we letting the car tune off. So cool off. So when we get back, we're going to change the spark plugs and see what it reads on the wideband and pull the intermediate air bleed out, and then that's gonna wrap up for the day tuning. Then we're gonna get this fuel right here in and start I'm gonna show y'all how the fuel affects how the engine runs too and what a wideband reads. So y'all stay locked in, man. When we get back to the shop, then we'll wrap up tuning. All right, BCG fam, back in the shop. So seeing that time has ran up on me, and like I said, we got back a little later than expected. We made a stop and all of that, and I know this vlog already pretty long. So we're gonna cut the vlog short right here. We did get some tuning done, and tomorrow we're gonna resume and continue tuning. So me and wife finna put the hood back on. I said I'm finna wrap it up, lock the shop up. But we're gonna continue on the next vlog. Like I said, we messed with the intermediate air bleeds a little bit today, changed jets. And next vlog, which I'm gonna start back tomorrow, we're gonna be doing tuning with the other fuel. And I gotta get the plugs in. I'm gonna get the spark plugs in, and we're gonna see how it runs like that. Spark plugs in, and we're gonna take the intermediate air bleed completely out and see how that affects it as well too. So that's what's on the agenda for tomorrow. Hope y'all enjoyed the vlog. Appreciate y'all. I'm gonna catch y'all later. BCG, we out.